Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Tom Schwartz will never do business with Sandoval ever again. The last night at Schwartz and Sandy's was quiet, too quiet for a space that was supposed to be vibrant, alive, and electric. The bartenders had already packed up. The once colorful lights were dim. The custom wallpaper, the one Sandoval had obsessed over for weeks, was peeling at the corners. Tom stood behind the bar, running his fingers along the surface they had both painstakingly chosen. It was smooth, polished concrete, modern, industrial, but personal. He could still remember the day they'd installed it. Sandoval had been so excited, buzzing around like a kid on Christmas morning. Now it felt like the cold slab between them, a silent monument to everything that went wrong. He poured himself a drink, not out of celebration, but out of frustration. Not anger exactly, at least, not just that. It was disappointment, bitterness. The slow, burning realization that the friend he had defended through everything may have led him right into a trap he should have seen coming. Part 2. Brothers in Business, Brothers in Blame. When Sandoval first pitched the idea of opening their own place without Lisa Vanderpump's guidance, Schwartz had been hesitant. Not because he didn't believe in their vision, he did, but because he knew Sandoval's passion could become overbearing, and yet, against his better judgment, Schwartz said yes. He always said yes. The dream was intoxicating. A sleek cocktail lounge with their names on the sign, a menu that reflected their personalities, a chance to prove to everyone they could succeed without the Bravo safety net. For 2 years, they poured their energy and money into the venture. Sandoval was the creative force, demanding, driven, detail-obsessed. Schwartz, always the peacemaker, tried to balance it all. The budgets, the staff drama, the renovations that never ended. He was the calm in the storm. Until even he couldn't take it anymore. The tension started small. Late payments, missed deliveries, disagreements over branding. Then the bigger problems surfaced. Unforeseen costs, overpromised events, a handful of PR nightmares. Eventually, they weren't working with each other. They were working around each other. Sandoval would go days without looping Schwartz into decisions. He brought in consultants Schwartz had never met, threw parties that ballooned the budget. Meanwhile, Schwartz fielded vendor complaints, negotiated with creditors, and tried to keep the doors open. It wasn't a partnership anymore, it was damage control. Part 3. The breaking point. The real fracture didn't come from a single event. It came from exhaustion, from 1,000 small disappointments, from the look in Sandoval's eyes every time Schwartz tried to suggest something practical, like cutting down their themed drink menu from 23 items to 10. "Bro, you're not thinking big enough," Sandoval would say, brushing him off. But Schwartz was thinking big enough to know they couldn't keep burning through cash with no plan, big enough to realize they were spiraling. He had tried, again and again, to get Sandoval to listen. But vision without execution is just fantasy, and fantasy doesn't pay bills. So when the lease came up and their accountant laid the numbers bare, it was no longer up for debate. The place had to close. And Sandoval didn't take it well. He stormed out of that final meeting, furious. He didn't speak to Schwartz afterward, didn't come to the final night, didn't help clear out the space. It was abandonment, plain and simple. And Schwartz, he was left holding the pieces of a broken dream. Part 4. A new resolve. It took weeks for Schwartz to come to terms with it all. At first, he blamed himself. Had he pushed too hard, been too passive, not fought back when it counted? But one morning, staring into his empty bank account and half-packed apartment, clarity hit him. He had done everything he could. He had given that place everything. He'd given Sandoval everything. And what had he received in return? Silence. Disrespect. A partnership that had become a one-man show. So no, he would never go into business with Sandoval again. Not out of spite, but out of self-respect. Because for the first time in years, Schwartz realized that loyalty without boundaries is just self-destruction. He could still love his friend. He could wish him the best. But that didn't mean he had to be part of the chaos anymore.